Oh, okay, let me do it one more time then. Blah. Okay.
Blah.
Done. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Alright.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Childs. Welcome back to Tried, Tested, and True Instant Pot Cooking. Today I'm going to show you how to use your Instant Pot. Consider this an Instant Pot 101 where I show you start to finish just how to get comfortable with it, take it out of the box, and let's do this. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a single video in my Instant Pot 101 series. So this is an Instant Pot pressure cooker. There are lots of electric pressure cookers out there, but this is kind of the name brand of the pressure cooker that's out there. Just like how all tissues are not Kleenex and how all jeans are not Levi's, not all electric pressure cookers are Instant Pots. Instant Pots are just extremely popular right now, but most of these things will apply to all electric pressure cookers. The Instant Pot uses steam, which creates the pressure, and then it locks it into this device and then squeezes it into the food. So that's why it cooks so quickly. Just remember, nothing that you make in the Instant Pot is going to come out crispy on its own. You'll need to either bake it, broil it, or do something after if you want it to be that texture. So let's get started on Instant Pot anatomy. This is the Instant Pot base. This is where all the controls are. It's stainless steel. It can get kind of warm when you're cooking, but it's not super hot on the sides. But when it's cooking, the lid is really hot, so don't touch the lid. This is the lid here, and I'll talk about the lid next. And this is the liner. So we've got liner, base, and lid. Just remember that this is where you're going to do all of your cooking. Don't ever put food in here. Down here you have the heating element, and that is not where the food goes. All the food goes into the liner. If you do put food in your base, then just get as much out as you possibly can, dry it out, and don't use it for at least 24 to 48 hours to make sure it's completely dry in there. I know it sounds silly when I say that, but you will not believe how many people destroy their pots when they just put stuff in there, and it is so sad. So don't put anything in here, okay? Promise. All right, let's talk about the Instant Pot lid. Like I mentioned earlier, don't touch the top of this lid when things are pressure cooking because it is really hot. I wouldn't want you to get burned. Let's talk about the outside of the Instant Pot lid. This is the sealing knob right here. It's a little bit rattly, and that's fine because it hasn't come to pressure yet. And this actually pops right off so you can clean it, which is nice. Don't be alarmed if this comes off. The second part is the sealing pin you see right here. This is how you're going to know that your Instant Pot has come to pressure and it is pressurized. After we turn it around, this is what the inside of the Instant Pot lid looks like. This is the sealing ring, and this is really important. If you don't have the sealing ring in your Instant Pot lid, then it will not come to pressure and you will be so sad. I myself have left it off once or twice, and I'm just sitting there waiting for my Instant Pot to come to pressure, and then I realized that I forgot the seal. So don't make that mistake and always use your sealing ring. The sealing ring does come out because you do need to clean it, but just make sure that you put it in all the way so it's nice and snug when you are using it. If the sealing ring is kind of off track or it's not pushed in all the way, it won't come to pressure. This part of the Instant Pot lid is just the adjoining part on the outside, and you'll see a little metal cover that comes over either one or both parts of this part of the lid, and that is just to ensure like big chunks of food don't go in there, and it's not completely necessary to use on your pot. It's just like it's off of mine right now, but it will function without it. If you have anything but an Instant Pot Luxe, you can actually set the lid on the Instant Pot base using either one of these little spots. So it's really nice. You can do it on either side. Now let's put the lid on the Instant Pot base. Instead of messing with all these little close and open arrows, I just align the back of my Instant Pot base with the large sealing portion like this, so you can see how it's lined up, and you'll get it every single time. So you put the lid on, you have it kind of angled, and then you just twist it right on. And then this is the important part. You have to make sure that your Instant Pot is on sealing before you pressure cook anything. Think of it like this. If you have a balloon that you want to blow all the way up, but it has a tiny hole in it, it will never actually stay inflated. So if you want your Instant Pot to stay pressurized, you need to have it to sealing. That means everything is locked and loaded and ready to pressure cook. I cannot overemphasize this enough. You need to ensure that your sealing knob is in the sealing position before you try and pressure cook something. The Instant Pot, when you set it on a time, actually won't tell you if it's on sealing or venting if you've forgotten. So make sure that you do this. Some models do automatically close it for you on sealing, but the Instant Pot Duo, which is what most people have, does not do this. Now let's talk about the Instant Pot base. This is the control panel where all of the buttons are, and I'm going to tell you that the only button you really need to use is the manual or pressure cook button. Depending on the model and the year that you got your Instant Pot, it will say manual or pressure cook. The rest of the buttons on your interface are actually just presets, so don't worry about it. The manual button is actually kind of just like the time cook on your microwave. So you know how on your microwave you have all those different presets and kind of fancy functions, but you actually never use them? That's kind of the same concept with the Instant Pot. When you press the manual button, it will automatically go to high pressure. You can adjust the pressure from low to high if your recipe calls for it, but most all recipes, unless indicated, will be on high pressure. The second most important button that you'll use on your Instant Pot is the saute button. It's just down here, and here's one thing to note. The saute button will not work if the lid is on your Instant Pot. This is a built-in safety feature to ensure that everything goes smoothly. So the saute feature actually makes it so your pot kind of turns into like a hot griddle or a pan on the stove. It heats up the Instant Pot so you can sear meat, or you can preheat your pot, which is one of my favorite tips. When you press the saute button like this, it will automatically say 30 minutes, and that is the default number of minutes that it will stay on the saute function before it turns off. This is just a built-in safety feature, but if you want to keep using it more than that, just press cancel and press saute again. You can also adjust the saute feature, so if you press saute and then adjust, it will say low, normal, or high on the interface right here, and that's just kind of like a low, medium, high. When the saute feature says on, that just means it's warming up, and it's already getting pretty warm, but when it's at its max temperature, it will say hot. One of my favorite tips I love to share with people is to set your Instant Pot on saute while you're getting your ingredients out. What this will do is preheat your pot so it's nice and warm, ready for you to cook in, and then it will come to pressure way faster. Here's a little analogy about that. It's kind of like if you had some frozen lasagna and you put it in a cold oven and it wasn't preheated at all, it would take so much longer for that lasagna to cook, right? So you would never crack an egg into a pan and then turn the heat on. You almost always want to preheat your pots and pans when you're cooking. Good job, we've made it this far. Now you're ready to actually use your Instant Pot. The first thing we're going to do is to do something called the water test. It's just a way to test your Instant Pot to make sure it's working and everything functions correctly. The first step in the water test is just to get about 1 to 2 cups of water. And we're just pressure cooking water to make sure that the Instant Pot works. So I'm gonna put in about a cup of water. Ooh, steamy. Okay, and because the pot was already hot, that's why it did that. It's already hot. It's going. After you put the water in, make sure that the Instant Pot is not on saute mode anymore, and we'll put our lid on. Make sure that the sealing ring is inside, and we're going to put our knob to sealing. Next, we're just going to press the manual button, and we're gonna set it for 2 to 5 minutes. Here's a tip as well. The Instant Pot will always remember the last time that you cooked with, and that will be the default time that shows up when you press manual or pressure cook. After you press the manual button, the display will say on.